What's going on, everyone? Hopefully I find everyone very, very well today. All right, so here are your guys' tarot scopes for the new moon in Taurus. Remember, these are just general, guys, so just go ahead and take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And also remember that these can be used for your sun, moon, and your rising signs. So I do suggest you guys to check all three of your guys' signs so you guys can get an overall, refined clarity as to what to maybe expect, during this cycle. So a little bit about the new moon. So the new moon in Taurus happens May 15th, 2018. It's located at 24 degrees Taurus. This new moon can be described as faith, hope, and charity. Also, there's a couple other astrological influences that are involved in this. So for instance, we have the new moon semi-sextile Venus, and this is a subtle but positive influence. It creates opportunities for love and money if you can take the initiative within these areas. Also, the new moon trines Pluto, which results in intense and deep experiences. You have great power and influence over your own life, allowing for positive transformations. Also, we have a little bit of the not so positive, but nevertheless, Mars square Uranus, which gives a tendency to act rashly, without regard for the consequences. But this could lead to great disruption and increases the risk of, just running into issues with other people or situations. This can also cause, lack of attention and concentration, which can lead to accidents, especially, maybe with working with electricity or driving. And basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right. So we also have a very harmonious transit here, or aspect, I should say, Jupiter trine Neptune, which reaches its full potency on May 25th. And this means, or what it's emblematic of, is it's encouraging hope, generosity, and community spirit. During this time, you may undertake a spiritual quest to seek the truth as your personal value systems or morals reach a higher standard, and you may find that selflessly helping others brings great satisfaction to you. These energies are relative for about 2 weeks, and our next moon cycle, or we have a full moon May 29th as well, and that's going to be in Sagittarius, I believe. Don't forget to check the comments section of this tarot scope for timestamps regarding your guys' signs, so you can go ahead and skip all the other signs and get to your guys' signs, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, also, if you would like to book a reading to kind of look at your unique situations, as always, intuitiveperceptions.com. Alrighty, let's go and get started with your guys' tarot scopes, starting from Aries all the way through to Pisces. Aries, my zodiac children. Alrighty, so in the center here, we have the Page of Discs or Page of Pentacles reversed. On the right-hand side, we have Justice, and on the left-hand side, we have the Five of Wands here. All right, Aries, I believe that what I'm picking up here is that during this cycle, you are taking kind of justice into your own hands. And I also feel that these are the beginning stages of it. I feel like maybe this is about a relationship for you, or whatever the case may be. You're starting to see the red flags. You're starting to see these instances that are coming up where you need to take action. I'm also picking up a lot of maybe stubborn energy, either coming from you or your partner, person, place, or thing, or from both. And there's a splitting of something, of like assets, or there's a splitting of families. There's a splitting of I'm kind of picking up court case a little bit, or something to that effect. I feel as though that maybe you guys could maybe be experiencing the beginning of, like I said, splitting of property, of ownings, of revenue even. I'm kind of picking up a little bit here, and I feel that it's bringing up a lot of contention for you right now. It's bringing up a lot of anger. It's bringing up a lot of trigger points I feel for you, Aries, in terms of your inner child is being hurt. Your inner child is screaming for, I don't want to call it attention. That's not what it is. It's more of screaming for release in a sense. I feel that your inner child is needs to be revisited in terms of, okay, I just got that maybe the situation, person, place, or thing that you are currently experiencing reminds you of your parents or your upbringing, that it's kind of like you're revisiting it again, and it's this is very subconscious for you, I feel, but your inner child really needs to be assessed during this time. And the Five of Wands here, you know, it's not really emblematic here, but in traditional tarot, like in the Rider-Waite version, everyone is fighting and they have wands, but they're not even looking at each other. It's a lot of petty arguments. It's a lot of petty, what's going on is that everyone wants something, but yet the other person is not listening. The other person is not acquiescing to the other person's needs. So it's just kind of wands are just being flying and thrown everywhere, and it's to no avail, I feel here. I'm also getting here too that this maybe could be about children as well. There's definitely something here that has to do with this is mine and this is yours, and it's no longer this is ours. I'm feeling like there's something going on with that, where there's a split, there's a sever of ties. But I do strongly feel here, Aries, that your inner child really needs to be visited during this time. It needs nurturing, it needs understanding. Yeah, it's bringing up a lot of old memories from your past, I feel, in terms of your parents or whoever your guardians, you know, as you were growing up. And you may find yourself during this time kind of asking yourself, like, or telling yourself or enlightening yourself to the fact that, kind of saying, wow, is this really, am I going through that one thing or this one thing that I thought I wouldn't, since my parents / guardians, whoever it was for you, showed you who you didn't want to be, you know? And it's really trying on your soul. It's really making you feel like, why am I revisiting this again? Why is this happening? And I'm feeling, Aries, that this has something to do with breaking karmic patterns and karmic cycles. It has a lot to do with looking at situations and assessing them from the most mature standpoint possible, if that makes sense. But definitely your inner child needs nurturing. Your inner child needs to be understood and let out. I'm also feeling like your partner, person, place, or thing needs to understand that as well. And they may need that as well regarding their inner child. I'm also kind of getting that things have just really amounted to just overall pettiness, overall contention that really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's like fighting over, like you know, fighting over who gets the last shoelace kind of thing. It's really I feel, Aries, that it's now time for you to release this, and for you to then look at this person, place, or thing and say, you know what, take it, like whatever, you know. And it's not giving up, Aries. It's not giving in to someone in a way of losing the battle. That's not what it is. Because here, if you assess your inner child and you look at your inner child and you really understand what's going on here, and you break these karmic cycles, regardless of what happens or what the other person, place, or thing, how they respond to you, you actually win in the end. Because there's something more. This fighting and contention and severing of things is very surface for you, Aries. And I feel like you need to take this time to look a little bit deeper in terms of for you, for your soul growth, for your soul and spiritual journey. This is happening for a reason. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that, you know, anyone deserves to be in any type of situation. It's just during this time, Saturn is going to show us what works and what doesn't work. And that which doesn't work or does now does no longer serve us will be snatched from us. And just know that in the end, it's going to work out favorably, Aries. It always does. You're strong as hell. You got this. You can do this. And it's interesting that justice is here. I think it's because maybe now, Aries, it's time for you to do what's fair for yourself, but on a very personal, individualistic basis in terms of soulful growth and soulful healing, and looking at what really matters regarding what lies inside, you know? And I'm kind of picking up here too, Aries, that you may not, you may have made some mistakes in the past, and you may not be where you want to be at this specific time and moment and place, you know? But what does that have to do with your future, Aries? Alrighty, we'll see you. Taurus, the Bull. Alrighty, so we have here in the center the Four of Wands. On the right-hand side, we have Justice reversed. And on the left-hand side, we have the Six of Pentacles. Taurus, I'm feeling like during this time, you're having a little bit of difficulty with sort of deciding or discerning between what it is that you know you need regarding security for your foundation and what it is that you feel like you want to give to. There's a little bit of difficulty here, and I feel, Taurus, that through this duality that you're experiencing, you're feeling like you're losing on both ends almost. Like you can't bring those two aspects together regarding kind of what you need and what you desire. It's difficult for you to bring those two things together. And I'm kind of picking up too, Taurus, that, you know, you may find yourself looking up at the sky a lot and kind of, that's crazy. The song by the Four Non-Blondes, What's Going On, that song just popped in my head right now. And yeah, Taurus, it has a lot to do with what are you giving to, but yet that as to which you are giving to, is it actually corresponding to your corresponding to your security needs in terms of laying down foundations for yourself that you can build upon. But there's a difficulty there. I'm kind of feeling like, Taurus, maybe you feel like you have you feel like you have expectations placed on you, whether that's from your family, from your children, from by yourself, or from yourself, I should say. I mean, from external kind of influences or environments or people, you know, Taurus. But we must remember that, you know, we cannot look externally for verification. We cannot look externally for satisfaction. We cannot look externally for validation, you know, Taurus. And I feel like during this time, you're going to see this and you're going to work on this, and you're going to get it right, though. I can see it here. But I feel, Taurus, like it's almost like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because it's like you want to give to these certain areas of life, like I said, but then you find yourself kind of feeling empty and without. And then those areas as to which you need to lay down for your foundation regarding, you know, growth and stability, there's something there too where you feel kind of empty and without as well. And I'm feeling like, Taurus, you need to revisit these areas in terms of why are you doing it? You know, you need to ask yourself that during this time. Why am I giving and why am I supplying these two things to these specific areas as to which you are working on right now? You are really feeling like this isn't fair. You're really feeling like there's a tug of war between these two areas of life, definitely. I'm feeling, Taurus, that you may need to, during this time, all of this spiritual and individual growth that you have done and soulful growth that you have done during this time, or before this time up until this point, that you need to now apply it And I'm not saying that you are not, but I feel like maybe somewhere down the line regarding, you know, these two areas that you're giving to, you need to look at them and say, okay, what am I doing that's that may be on the contrary to what I have learned regarding soulful work? You know, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's a little bit difficult to get the words out right now to kind of describe what I'm trying to say, but I think you do pick it up. It's time to apply all of the knowledge and the growth and all of the skills that you have learned and acquired up until this point. And it's just a readjustment period, Taurus. That's all it really is. It's just readjusting these two areas. And, you know, it's interesting because we should always give, you know, to those areas as to which we know builds our foundation, you know. They shouldn't be separate, really. It doesn't really make too much sense. It seems like it shouldn't conflict. It shouldn't you know, there shouldn't be a blurred line between those two areas. They should just coincide together and work together. I mean, you know, we put the work in, we get the result. You know, you shouldn't have to battle between the result and the work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? It's very strange. And I'm feeling like there's a lot more to the story here. There's, I just got right now, I just picked up that you may need to revisit as well, Taurus, when you feel like you've been done wrong, you know, and those moments in time where you feel like you've been done wrong, those may have changed. Those experiences may have changed the way that you look at things regarding why you do some of the things that you do, you know, or like you need to do this for this specific reason. And I feel like it may have, I'm going to use the word tainted your outlook a little bit, but I mean that in the most respectful way, of course. It's just I feel like there's areas where you may need to look at regarding why we do the things that we do for a specific reason. And are they serving us at this point? Are we getting what we expect, you know, regarding the result from the amount of work we are putting in, and why are they clashing? You understand? Like we need to look at those areas and see it's has something to do with expectation. And also I just picked up the phrase just in case. I'm kind of getting that as a little bit too. Maybe the just in case is kind of getting in the way a little bit, or maybe it's contrary to what needs to be done regarding taking the most appropriate measures to obtain a viable result. That makes sense. All right, Taurus, stay strong. You got this. Just need some revisiting, a little bit of tweaking in those two areas. And once you figure it out, you're going to move forward and you got this. All right, Taurus, we'll see you. Gemini, my 20 twins. All right, so on the center here, we have the full reversed. Right-hand side, we have the Three of Wands. The left-hand side, we have the Page of Pentacles. Gemini, during this time, this cycle, I'm kind of feeling like you know what you need to do, you know, and you're working on it. You're approaching something very, very slowly, and that's okay, you know. But it's very contrary to your nature, Gemini, to approach something or to work on something very slowly. I feel like this is a brand new venture that you are embarking on, or you're working on, or working towards. And you're seeing results from it, absolutely. But there's a little bit of apprehension here. There's a little bit of holding back. There's a little bit of walking into the unknown and being fearful of it, in a sense, you know? And I completely understand. I mean, it's scary walking into the unknown. We don't understand, nor can we control the confines of that environment. You know, Gemini, but you are a very intellectual sign. You like to gain and know information, and you have no problem, you know, jumping into it and just being like, let's go, let's do it, come on, let's learn, like, you know, that's of your nature. And I'm just really feeling here that you are slowly but surely trying to get to that point. And it's like you want to get there. I can see it. But like I said, there's fear or apprehension that is holding you back from completely delving into it or completely applying your entire 100% to this venture. I'm feeling, Gemini, that it's something like you need to do, and you like soulfully you need to do it and you want to, but you're a little fearful, or you're a little indecisive in terms of what the end result is going to be regarding how you change because of this. But don't look at it as a negative aspect. Don't look at it like, oh, okay, I may change and it may compromise myself. Don't look at it like that, because Gemini, deep down inside, soulfully, you need to do this. You need to complete this task or tackle this this mountain in a sense. So therefore, it's like this inner drive I feel like God and Spirit's driving you to do this. And it's like it's very riveting in a way where like you're kind of like, I know I need to do this, I have to do this. It's like your inner voice is your inner guide is just literally like dragging you along, and it's good for you, but throughout the venture or the entirety of it, while going through it, you're kind of you're unsure, Gemini, how it's going to mold and change you. I feel like this is not on your own or upon your own volition, in terms of, okay, this has to do with like ego, and this is an ego and spiritual thing kind of going on here a little bit. God, Spirit, your guides, who or whatever it that you confide in, is pushing you forward. And it's almost like I see like a rope is tied around your waist in a sense. They're like, come on, they're like pulling you, and you're like, I know, but there's this huge apprehension. It's almost like that when this is completed, you will be changed, but you're afraid of maintaining it, or not being able to maintain it. It's interesting, Gemini. Since when are you not confident in yourself? That's a little, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just chuckling a little bit to say something like that to a Gemini. You guys are very confident. You guys, whenever you make a decision, that's what it is, and that's it. And you're very confident in those decisions that you make. This is something that's brand new, and it's okay to take your time, Gemini. And the mere fact that you're taking your time lets God and Spirit know that you are taking it serious up to a certain point. And I don't want to say I'm kind of glad that you're taking your time, but I think that you taking your time doing this, and the apprehension regarding taking one step at a time, is a good thing, because I feel as though that it's you're going to grow upon each step, and it's going to be a slow growth, in terms of a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And with each step, you're closer to success. But don't look at it as like the success is, and then like that's it. You reach the goal and then that's it. And then you're kind of standing there like, okay, well, now what? It's something that will continue on regarding, like I said, how you maintain it soulfully and how it's going to change you. But it's for the better, Gemini, I feel here. You also need to watch the background chatter, I feel, as well, within the back of your mind, psyching yourself out, But this is something that's really good, Gemini. You just have to trust the process. You have to understand that God and Spirit only wants the best for you. And the only way that we can know that is true, is this is your first time going through something like this. We have to take that risk, and we have to take that plunge, so that in the end, when we see that it is, or it works out so favorably and so in our favor that then we can look back and say, whenever this comes up again, or a similar kind of circumstance comes up again, you know you can trust throughout the entire process upon that secondary circumstance, you know? Yeah, it's you're a little shook, Gemini. I can feel it, but this is for the best, and you got this. Yeah, you're gonna be a beast after this, so you'll be all right, Gemini. Just trust the process, and most importantly, trust in yourself. All right, Gemini, we'll see ya. Cancer, my crab. Alrighty. So in the center here, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. On the right-hand side, we have the Five of Pentacles, and on the left-hand side, we have the Four of Wands reversed. Cancer, during this time, there's a struggle for an asset. There's a struggle for, I'm feeling like winning something. I'm really picking up using your power over someone else or something to that effect. It's a battle over obtaining an item, an asset, a person, place, or thing. See that green jewel in the center there? And it's interesting how the crow and the snake there are both, their eyes are green as well. It's like having our eyes on the prize, but compromising ourselves along the way, or upon obtaining that jewel. It's being entangled. I've just picked up the word ensnared. Being ensnared during this process, feeling, Cancer, like regardless of who gets this jewel at the end, whether it's you or the other person, place, or thing, it's this weird, interesting dynamic where you will still feel left out. You'll still feel like there's something missing, all the while kind of still understanding or seeing that it isn't viable to your foundation of success. It's almost like to no avail. It's like, I just picked up like beating a dead horse, kind of, in a sense. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's like a battle not won. And I'm also picking up that maybe you and this person, place, or thing are looking at each other and kind of snaring at each other, and you are you both are kind of like, I don't know, I just picked up who's going to volunteer for tribute, like something like that. Like there's an aspect here, like I said, of feeling left out, of feeling like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, and then not only feeling like left out and feeling abandoned. I just picked that up right now too, feeling abandoned and feeling excluded. I just picked that up too. Not only feeling those emotional, turmoils, but also it not doing anything really for you, Cancer, in terms of not being something that is worth your while regarding a victory that you can speak of and that you can be proud of. Because I feel like in the end, Cancer, if you do, I don't even like to use the word win, but if you do end up capturing the jewel, and obtaining the jewel, I feel like it's going to be something that it's not gonna be your proudest moment, and the jewel's just kind of, it's not gonna just shine and gleam as as much as it should. It's going to be a foggy jewel, I feel. It won't be so clear. It will be extremely far from VVS quality or clarity, if that makes sense. It's just, it's like a losing battle either way, because I feel, Cancer, like, throughout this entire ordeal, circumstance, person, place, or thing, whatever it may be for you during this time, it's not gonna feel like a victory in the end. You're gonna feel like you compromised yourself. You're gonna feel like you did things out of spite. You did things out of not showing any mercy out of anger and out of anguish and out of resentment and out of, I don't know, I just picked up commiseration. You may want someone to commiserate over you, and I feel like there's a lot of sneakiness kind of going on too with the Five of Pentacles there, like the snake, you know, it's half in the water and half out of the water, and it just seems like ready to strike, you know, up. There's two snakes in this reading, Cancer. Snakes are not necessarily bad, you know, animal totems or anything like that, but it's just snakes. Snakes tend to represent, you know, something that strikes, something that is that will fight for its protection out, absolutely, but at the same time, you know, snakes shed their skin, Cancer, and when they shed their skin, they leave that behind. They grow and then they move forward. But I feel, Cancer, that what you see that you may need to leave behind is not going to make you happy. I feel like you're going to leave an aspect of yourself behind, and you're going to have no choice but to move forward. And you're always going to have that in the back of your mind in terms of like, damn, like I did that. Like I went that far. Like it went that far, whatever it may be for you. But you know it isn't great for your foundation. You know that it isn't leading to success. It isn't leading to a firm foundation which you can build upon. It's only going to be, or what will be left, Cancer, is sadness and sorrow and regret in the end. You know, but most importantly, you're going to be upset at yourself, I feel, though, Cancer. Like, and that's the worst, you know, that's when it hurts the worst, when we're upset at ourselves, you know. And then we tend to, sometimes as humans, we tend to displace that on, you know, other people or upon other circumstances or situations, and then we further compromise ourselves. You know, just take a look at what's going on, Cancer, and take a look at how far are you willing to go? You know, what's the distance that you're willing to go, and are you okay with that? Will you be okay with that in 2 years? Will you be okay with that in 7 years? Will you be okay with that in 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 days? You know, like, will you be okay with that? When we do things or make certain decisions out of moments of anger, you know, anger is a secondary emotion, Cancer. Don't forget that. The first is sadness and hurt. And we need to address that when it needs to come up, because you don't like things that are left unsaid, Cancer, you know. It doesn't make you feel great. It doesn't make you happy, but stay strong during this time, Cancer. And I think you got this. You just have to revisit a couple things. All right, Cancer, we'll see you. Cancer, my grab. Alrighty. So in the center here, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. On the right-hand side, we have the Five of Pentacles. And on the left-hand side, we have the Four of Wands reversed. Cancer, during this time, there's a struggle for an asset. There's a struggle for, I'm feeling like winning something. I'm really picking up using your power over someone else or something to that effect. It's a battle over obtaining an item, an asset, a person, place, or thing. See that green jewel in the center there? And it's interesting how the crow and the snake there are both, their eyes are green as well. It's like having our eyes on the prize, but compromising ourselves along the way, or upon obtaining that jewel. It's being entangled. I just picked up the word ensnared. Being ensnared during this process, feeling, Cancer, like regardless of who gets this jewel at the end, whether it's you or the other person, place, or thing, it's this weird, interesting dynamic where you will still feel left out. You'll still feel like there's something missing, all the while kind of still understanding or seeing that it isn't viable to your foundation of success. It's almost like to no avail. It's like, I just picked up like beating a dead horse, kind of, in a sense. That's what I'm kind of getting. It's like a battle not won. And I'm also picking up that maybe you and this person, place, or thing are looking at each other and kind of snaring at each other, and you are you both are kind of like, I don't know, I just picked up who's going to volunteer for tribute, like something like that. Like there's an aspect here, like I said, a feeling left out, a feeling like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, and then not only feeling like left out and feeling abandoned. I just picked that up right now too, feeling abandoned and feeling excluded. I just picked that up too. Not only feeling those emotional, turmoils, but also it not doing anything really for you, Cancer, in terms of not being something that is worth your while, regarding a victory that you can speak of and that you can be proud of. Because I feel like in the end, Cancer, if you do, I don't even like to use the word win, but if you do end up capturing the jewel, and obtaining the jewel, I feel like it's going to be something that it's not going to be your proudest moment, and the jewel's just kind of, it's not going to just shine and gleam as, as much as it should. It's going to be a foggy jewel, I feel. It won't be so clear. It will be extremely far from VVS quality or clarity, if that makes sense. It's just, it's like a losing battle either way. Because I feel, Cancer, like, throughout this entire ordeal, circumstance, person, place, or thing, whatever it may be for you during this time, it's not gonna feel like a victory in the end. You're gonna feel like you compromised yourself. You're gonna feel like you did things out of spite. You did things out of not showing any mercy, out of anger and out of anguish and out of resentment and out of, I don't know, I just picked up commiseration. You may want someone to commiserate over you, and I feel like there's a lot of sneakiness kind of going on too with the Five of Pentacles there, like the snake. It's half in the water and half out of the water, and it just seems like ready to strike, up. There's two snakes in this reading, Cancer. Snakes are not necessarily bad, animal totems or anything like that, but it's just snakes. Snakes tend to represent, something that strikes, something that is that will fight for its protection out, absolutely, but at the same time, snakes shed their skin, Cancer, and when they shed their skin, they leave that behind. They grow and then they move forward. But I feel, Cancer, that what you see that you may need to leave behind is not going to make you happy. I feel like you're going to leave an aspect of yourself behind, and you're going to have no choice but to move forward. And you're always going to have that in the back of your mind in terms of like, damn, like I did that. Like I went that far, like it went that far, whatever it may be for you. But it isn't great for your foundation. That it isn't leading to success. It isn't leading to a firm foundation which you can build upon. It's only going to be, or what will be left, Cancer, is sadness and sorrow and regret in the end. But most importantly, you're going to be upset at yourself, I feel, though, Cancer. Like, and that's the worst, that's when it hurts the worst, when we're upset at ourselves, then we tend to, sometimes as humans, we tend to displace that on, other people or upon other circumstances or situations, and then we further compromise ourselves. Just take a look at what's going on, Cancer, and take a look at how far are you willing to go? What's the distance that you're willing to go, and are you okay with that? will you be okay with that in 2 years? Will you be okay with that in 7 years? Will you be okay with that in 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 days? You know, like, will you be okay with that? When we do things or make certain decisions out of moments of anger, you know, anger is a secondary emotion, Cancer. Don't forget that. The first is sadness and hurt. And we need to address that when it needs to come up, because you don't like things that are left unsaid, Cancer, you know. It doesn't make you feel great. It doesn't make you happy, but stay strong during this time, Cancer. And I think you got this. You just have to revisit a couple things. All right, Cancer, we'll see you. Leo, the Royal Lion. Alrighty, so in the center here we have the 5 of Wands reversed, and on the right hand side we have the 8 of Wands, and on the left hand side we have the Star card. All right, Leo, so during this time I can see that you don't want to argue anymore, you don't want to fight no more, you just you really want to do healing, you want to release. I feel, Leo, you want to release all the burdens, you want to release all the shit. You just you're really focused, I feel, Leo, on really releasing that which doesn't serve you, with that which no longer belongs in your life. You don't want to do it anymore. That's it. But I feel, Leo, that there's situations that are presenting themselves in all areas of your life, Leo. I feel that you feel like people are taking from you, or I don't know why I'm picking up, maybe some kind of karma is going on in terms of things unforeseen are coming through, and they're very quick. They're very like, whoa, what the hell? Like, you know, like kind of catch you in that type of moment where it's like, whoa, I did not see that coming. And I feel, Leo, like it's people taking things from you to possibly with somewhat of an intent to maybe provoke you, Leo, or to okay, I just picked up, I feel, Leo, that things are being, as you're releasing things, Leo, right, whatever this may be, you know, materialistic things, spiritual things, you know, releasing emotion, you know, burdens, whatever the case may be for you. I feel like people or situations are presenting themselves where they are, they're like, it's really being taken from you, you know, like, kind of when like you come up with an idea, you know, or with a release, you know, say like, okay, for instance, okay, I'm gonna release my my mittens, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, someone or something will come and take your mittens from you before you're ready to release it. I feel like this is a recurring thing for you during this time, and it's causing you to maybe look at situations where it's like, you kind of ask yourself, or you say, or you may find yourself kind of deliberating back and forth with yourself, saying something to the effect of, to yourself, like, well, I wasn't ready to release it just yet. I wanted a little bit more time with it. And it's kind of pushing you or propelling you into this releasing stage. And I feel, Leo, that when these things are being, you know, I'm going to use the word snatched, but I don't want you guys to put it in a negative connotation or pejorative connotation attached to it. It's just, I feel as though, Leo, that before you're ready to release something, you have to release it, or it gets released before you maybe even come to terms with it. And I feel like it's catching up slowly but surely, but not in a bad way. It's catching up where it's like things are now being snatched from you or taken from you, where you were like, I didn't even decide on like that being taken from me or me releasing that, but I mean, damn, it got released. Like, whoa, okay. And I feel like this is divine timing, Leo. This is something where you are starting to see that there's more that needs to be released. And I feel, Leo, that you know, you've been on this path, and it's great in terms of releasing, but I feel like God's spirit is taking other things from you that have to do with Okay, let's just put this so it's kind of hard to describe, but okay, those things as to which you initially consciously were ready to release, there were other aspects attached to it which made those, you know, which made those things that you chose to release still involved in your life. You know what I mean? Like there was like I said, you're ready to release it, but there were other little tiny things that still kept it prevalent within your life. And those little things are being taken, and therefore the whole thing will then be released. And I feel like God and Spirit's working with you right now, Leo, to show you that you may need to go a little bit deeper, you know, in terms of not looking at, okay, what's just the item or the thing that needs to be released? What are the undercurrent roots that need to be assessed first in terms of releasing the small little tiny foundations, and then therefore the entire thing as to which you want it to be released is then released, right? So then it's kind of like that's how it's kind of working for you right now, Leo. And I feel like it's kind of, you may find yourself getting a little bit overwhelmed right now. You may find yourself getting a little bit overwhelmed during this time or this cycle, but don't get overwhelmed. Just know that it's all divine timing. Know that it's all supposed to happen in the manner as to which it is. And it may not make much sense now, but it always makes sense later, Leo. And this is how divine timing works, you know, in terms of they have their own grantastic plan, you know, involved within the situations or aspects that they're working on behind the scenes regarding supporting us in releasing what it is that we need to release. Don't look at it in a negative aspect in terms of like you weren't ready yet, you know, because even if you have that apprehension to, oh, I'm not ready yet. The minute you say yet, you know, you can find yourself or you can conclude, you know, that maybe you aren't completely ready to release that yet, you know, like you still have some form of an attachment to it, and maybe you're not ready, and that's okay, you know. These things happen. These things take time. These things, you know, it's tough to depart from certain things within our life that we have depended on, you know, or we chose to keep within our lives that may cause detriments, you know. And it's a whole switch, Leo, but look at this as you know, God and Spirit propelling you forward and letting you know that you are on the right path when the small things are being released, that therefore allows you to release the bigger things or the bigger overall picture, whatever those aspects may be. All right, Leo, stay strong during this time. Remember, it's all about perception during this cycle. All right, Leo, we'll see you. Viggity, Virgo. Alrighty, so in the center, we have the Moon card reversed. On the right-hand side, we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. On the left-hand side, we have the Eight of Wands. All right, Virgo, so during this time or during this moon cycle, what I'm feeling here is that things are changing very rapidly. I feel like, I feel as though that you're on like a fast track regarding a spiritual movement, regarding just general movement in your life, Virgo. I feel like things are pressing right now, but it's more of just kind of similar to Leo, like propel you to move forward. God and Spirit are kind of just like, you know, you're standing there and you're like, well, I don't know. And then God and Spirit's like they push you. They're like, it's okay. Move forward, don't stop, move forward. Like, you know, they're just pushing you to move forward. And, you know, they have your back during this time as well. Don't forget that. But I just feel that, Virgo, things, like I said, are coming in quick. Changes are abound. Things are, these changes are coming in very, very swiftly. I feel that's what I'm picking up here, swiftly. And swift movement is what I'm getting here. And also, Virgo, let's not, you know, let's not worry about what we could have done differently, you know, as we move forward, as we're being pushed and propelled to move forward. Let's not revisit the past, you know, in terms of saying, or of, you know, saying or telling yourself or being in the headspace where it's like, well, okay, if I was pushed to move forward, okay, well, what did I do wrong during that? Let's not start that, you know, let's just move forward. Let's focus on moving forward. Let's not, you know, Let's not think of what we could have done different. Let's not look at, I don't want to say completely diminish self-improvement through review, you know, because I know that's something that you do, Virgo, and it's one of your strong traits, and it's always striving towards self-improvement, which is okay. But I just feel like right now, Spirit, God's trying to show you that that sometimes you don't need to worry about that. Let them worry about that. You just receive the blessing and you just move forward. That's just what you need to do. And then when we dwell on certain aspects regarding the past, you know, Virgo, in terms of you know, what went wrong, how come we're going over that, like, you know, like, what could I have done differently, why did I move from A to B, you know, or, you know, why did we take that step forward, like, what caused that change? Don't do all that, because I feel like you're gonna get lost in the, I just picked up lost in the sauce, in terms of like it's going to further cause stagnation, in terms of like, the intention, Virgo, is benign, in terms of you're just seeking for self-improvement, yes, but just let's not dwell on it, because it's going to prolong the process. And I feel as though too, I'm picking up that you may miss opportunities along the way when our mindset, okay, when we are stepping towards the future, but our mind is caught in the past, if that makes sense. It's a very interesting dynamic in terms of how the past, the present, the future kind of all are all encompassing. That makes sense. Don't look at you being propelled or pushed forward as being rushed or anything like that, because, you know, Virgo, we know you don't like to be rushed. That's because we feel like when we rush, we miss the details, we miss the refining of things. And yes, that does hold to be true. But as I just think that during this process, it's a little bit different this time. This is teaching us to just trust the process. This is teaching us to dwell or to accept the unknown, and to not worry about it so much, and to just trust divine timing and divine purpose. And I don't know, I'm picking up like just plant the seeds, Virgo, and then move forward. That's it. There's no need to, did it happen? How did it go? You know, what was it done in a timely fashion? Like, none of that, you know. Yeah, let's not focus on that. And it's very contrary to your nature. But sometimes, you know, especially with Uranus and Saturn, things need to be shaken up. We need to be shook a little bit, you know what I mean, for us to realize that change needs to be implemented upon any given instance, whether we are mentally in accordance with the time, you know, or with the appropriate time. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be the appropriate time, because God and Spirit's time is very different from our time. And we need to seek God and Spirit as guidance. You know, we need to trust them. And if we completely do trust them, and I'm not saying you don't, but if we completely do trust them, then we'll trust the process. We'll go into it blindfold and we'll be like, hey, I'm cool, whatever. Yeah. But then if we find ourselves reneging on moving forward, you know, that's when we then have to say, you know, do I really trust the process a lot? But then we have to look a little bit deeper, Virgo, and say, what, do I trust myself that I'm going to succeed in this? And yes, because God and Spirit won't propel you to move forward or push you or place you within a position where they will, for lack of a better maybe phrase, like set yourself up for failure in a sense, because that won't happen. And also, Virgo, I know that you work very, very well under pressure in a sense. You know, like that's when your best work comes out. It's one of those things where when it's like, just when you don't think that you're ready, you're ready. Just when you think that you're being rushed, you're not. Like one of those things, you know what I mean? You're ready when you're ready, because Spirit has your back and they're going to push you to move forward. And just let's not dwell on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Just trust it, move forward, and take all that you can from the experience. All right, Virgo, we'll see ya. Libra scales. All right, so in the center, we have the King of Wands. On the right-hand side, we have the Nine of Swords reversed. And on the left-hand side, we have the King of Wands again. So Libra, during this time, during this cycle, you're very confident, which is great in terms of moving forward, you know, Libra. And you're done. You are done making room for that aspect or that thing that is living in your head rent-free. You want to remove that completely. And I feel like you really have, Libra. You've worked on it. You've released a lot. You've went over a lot. You have released yourself from the confines of a detrimental mindset. And I hate to say it like that, but that's what I'm picking up here. And you've done a lot of work. I can see that here. But I don't know why, Libra, but I'm picking up that through this, you know, this movement, this confident venture, this confident embark. That's even makes sense, but you get what I'm saying. Just through this entire, you know, confident streak, I should say, which is great. I feel, Libra, that you may sort of revert back a little bit, or say, for instance, you know, let's say you release something, you know, and you have, but whatever the case may be for you, you know, and then it's kind of coming back around again, maybe, possibly, and you're like, well, you know, I think I've got it under control. I think we can revisit that again. I think I'll be fine. I got this, which I'm not saying that you don't, because I think that you do. And you've done a lot of work to prove that. You've done a lot of soulful and inner work to prove it, absolutely. But I just feel, Libra, that this may be like a shadow side of your personality, possibly, you know. Libra, the opposite is Aries. You know, maybe you can check out the Aries reading and just see maybe if you can pull anything from there, if there's any kind of shadow kind of aspects regarding that reading for you, you know. And I'm also feeling like this is sort of like, I don't want to call it a test, but it's sort of like a review, you know, where if we allow that thing to come back in, you know, Libra, we have to completely release it. We can't pick and choose when we want it to come in and go, you know. We can't renege on our work and our self, you know, our self-work and our self-love, you know. We can't compromise ourselves like that again. And if you feel like you have it, Libra, don't get me wrong, always stand in your truth and never be ashamed of it, you know. Absolutely, 100%. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But I just feel, Libra, that there may be a slight tad bit, you know, of an ego kind of getting involved in this situation regarding the aspect that's maybe possibly coming back, you know. And if you feel like this thing coming back, if you need it to come back because you feel like maybe you need to look at it from a different perspective, or maybe you want to kind of, you know, test yourself in terms of how far you've grown, whatever the case may be, Libra, do what you need to do so you can move forward and your soul can then grow, you know, and you can be that much better of a person and whatever you feel is right for you. But I'm just feeling like there may be some more healing that needs to be done regarding the aspects as to which you have been healing. It may need to come back again and possibly maybe show you, Libra, or maybe display to you that sometimes other people don't change. We change, Libra, and you know, that's okay too. But other people, we can't expect when we change that other people have, or that time that you were that time that you were apart from this person, place, or thing, you took advantage of that time to assess, reassess, and to grow. But that doesn't mean that the second party, person, place, or thing, took advantage of that same time within the manner as to which you did, you know. And we'll see, Libra. I feel like it's kind of up in the air right now, but I can see that you're on boss mode, and that's cool. And I like it. It's a new look for you, Libra, and you no longer allowing people to walk all over you. You're no longer allowing people to adjust your scales upon their volition, you know? Only you have the power to do that, Libra. But don't forget as well, you know, yeah, we may have swam dirty waters, but they pushed us in, and vice versa, you know. They may have swam dirty waters, but we pushed them in, you know. I think you understand what I'm saying, Libra. But stay strong during this time. Do whatever it is that you feel is necessary for your own soulful growth regarding yourself as an individual, spiritually, you know, egotistically, if that makes sense. If that makes sense, but you know what I mean. Eagerly, if that's even a damn word, but you get it. Yeah, for your own soulful growth, Libra. Alrighty, you got this. Whatever may transpire is what we need to see and view, you know, and God and Spirit has your back during this process. All right, Libra, we got you, and stay strong, and we'll see you. Scorpiolo. All right, so we have in the center here the Queen of Wands. On the right-hand side, we have the Nine of Swords reversed. And on the left-hand side, we have the Sun card. All right, Scorpio, so during this time, or during this cycle, I just feel, Scorpio, that you're doing okay, you know? You've taken your power back. I feel you're moving forward, and you have the confidence within you to move forward. I'm also kind of getting, Scorpio, to that, you know, maybe possibly during this cycle, you may, I don't know why I'm picking up here, and I don't want it to seem as like, I mean this negatively because I don't, but it just seems as though here, Scorpio, that there may be a little bit of overindulgence. Now, when I say overindulgence, what I mean is overindulgence of ambition I'm feeling here. But it is serving you because you are coming out of sleepless nights. You are coming out of you're releasing that thing that is living in your head rent free, you know? You are releasing it. I can see it. You're releasing it, and it has been released. But I'm feeling, Scorpio, that maybe during this time you may there may be some kind of like an ego boost, you know? And that's okay, you know? But I feel like light is going to be shed upon these areas, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm feeling like maybe because of this overindulgence regarding ambition, you may find yourself kind of at a standstill. That's interesting. I don't know why I just picked that up. Yeah, like at a standstill, just kind of like you talked yourself, or you put yourself in a position where your back is against the wall. This is very, very interesting energy, Scorpio. 1 second, Scorpio. Let me just see what I'm getting here for you. Yeah, it's like an like I said, it's an overindulgence, and I don't know why I'm picking up here to revisit your inner child as well here. Revisit how you may have been very intuitive as a child, but you may have ignored that, or you may have, I mean, you know, as a child who really listens to their intuition, you know, like we don't really know what it is. Sometimes we do, you know, but intuition is something that we learn to trust and build, you know. But I just feel that it may be time to see our perceptions and our intuition of how it may have used to be before this ambitious streak, you know. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I'm kind of feeling like maybe now you may be kind of not running off of your intuition so much right now, and you're kind of more going off of, or you're running off of off of ego a little bit, you know? And that's okay, you know, up to a certain point. It's just the proper delegation of the two. But Scorpio, you're very extremely intuitive. And when you don't, any water sign for that matter, I mean, even Virgo up to a certain point, even Libra up to a certain point, you know, like even the air signs, like I said, up to a certain point, but especially for the water signs, you know, when you guys don't listen to your intuition, and when you don't understand that it's calling for you, or that it's missing, or that it's you've taken a break from it, when it's gone, it really affects you, Scorpio, especially you know, I mean, all the water signs, but yeah, we're focused on you right now, but it really does affect you, Scorpio, because you don't realize how much you run off of your intuition and how much it flows so freely through you, and how innately it's built within you. And I feel like you just may have taken a little bit of a break from it. I'm not saying that you have completely abandoned it, but it's just you've taken a break from it. And, you know, sometimes we need to, you know, and light will be shed upon these areas. Maybe, like I said, of an overindulgence of ambition. Now, I'm not saying that you're out here just acting a fool and, you know, you messing everything up. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that you may need to just kind of like take a step back, you know, and kind of just be like, whoa, okay, well, hold on. Am I really listening to my inner voice? Am I listening to my intuition? Am I really in line with my intuition right now? And if the answer is no, or I'm not sure, then we need to take a step back and look at I think that's what I was getting at when I said the intuition as a child. It's making more sense now in terms of how you used to listen to your intuition before this ambitious streak. Go back to that, you know. And if you've done, which I'm pretty sure you have, a lot of growth up until, you know, maybe shutting your intuition off a little bit, it's okay. We can still implement that oomph and that drive, absolutely. But always check in with your intuition. Always check in with what's going on, you know, regarding what's your intuition telling you, you know. Always, before you make decisions, check in with that, you know. That's it, Scorpio. I feel like during this time, light will be shed upon those areas. And then I feel like you would then completely release what it is that you need to release, and you don't, you know, possibly or adversely affect yourself by adding more, you know, kind of, how can I say this? Adding more onto your plate, you know. I don't know why I just picked up, that's so strange. The song by Sugar Free, Why You Bullshitting? And I'm not saying you are, but it's that one part when he says, I won't knock no pork chop off your plate if you don't knock one off of mine. I don't know, something like that with that song. That's so strange. Yeah. And if you never heard of this song, be very aware the song's very explicit. But yeah. Interesting. There's something in that song for you. It's very strange. But going with the intuition, right, Scorpio? This is kind of what I'm getting here. But yeah, overall, light will be shed within these areas. And yeah, let's just take a step back, listen to our intuition, and just check in with yourself during this time, Scorpio. Alrighty, we'll see ya. Sagittarius, the Archer. Alrighty, here in the center, we have the Five of Swords. On the right-hand side, we have the Eight of Cups. And on the left-hand side, we have the Two of Cups. All right, Sag, I want to start your little reading here with that truth, though. I don't know why, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. Sag, I feel like you're finding yourself being compromised during this time. There's also an aspect here of almost like people are trying to take from you. People are trying to selfishly run the show. I don't know why I'm picking that up here. And you need to make a decision, Sag. Or maybe you're stuck between this decision in terms of putting yourself first during this time. Or possibly doing what's right. That's a tough place to be in, Sagittarius. It's it's almost like you want to follow your truth and you want to stand in your truth, and you know what the way is regarding your truth, and what is required to make that successful. But then there's like this other side of you where it's kind of like you want to do what's right, and you think that maybe possibly if you walk and stand in your truth, it will go against what's right, or it's going to adversely affect what is right. There's something here, Sag, that has to do with you balancing the masculine and feminine sides of you, almost like you have to embody some of the feminine within you regarding feelings. There's feelings all up and through this reading here, but it's more of like finding that female or that feminine aspect of you, you know, and not giving up on finding that, and also having a healthy balance between the two in terms of let's not let the emotions completely just override us, you know, and cloud our judgment. But at the same time, we want to be sympathetic and we want to be empathetic, and we always want to remember to do things and come from a place of compassion. But let's not allow that to completely, let's not become ensconced in that. That makes sense. You're having a tough time regarding, should I stay on this quest for higher understanding, for understanding my emotions, for understanding how I can apply the emotion or the feminine sides of me, or do I just walk away from the situation and just, you know, exit stage left, you know? And you're stuck between this right now. Once again, I mean, for a lot of the signs I've been saying, you know, the inner child during this time. Go inside, Sag, and see what your inner child says. Check in with your inner child. Understand, or maybe try and relate this to your upbringing, or how this may have played out in a similar context or upon a similar instance regarding when you were younger, when you needed to make important decisions, or when, okay, I just picked up when decisions as so were placed upon you unfairly. And it's, I just got right now to, you may feel like you kind of, you want to make up for something in the past regarding how you maybe didn't embrace your feminine side, or how you maybe neglected your emotions, or maybe the emotions of another person, something like that. And you have a choice now. You can either, you know, go towards finding that flower, you know, in terms of the Two of Cups there on the left-hand side. You can either go on the quest to find that balance and that feminine emotional balance within you, or you can just walk away, you know, with the Eight of Cups there, and just completely just, I don't know, I just picked up desert it. That was very strange. It's a very strong word, but yeah, it's something there's something here with the inner child and making up for mistakes in the past. Maybe you were in a situation where your parents unfairly, or guardians unfairly placed something on you, and you didn't maybe make the correct decision, you know, regarding combining the emotional and the feminine and the masculine aspects of yourself, bringing it together and finding a healthy medium, and finding, you know, that sweet spot in the center in terms of bringing those two aspects together and making a cognitive or cognizant choice and decision, you know, but that was unfairly placed on you, you know. Parents, guardians, whatever the case may be, doesn't need to place that on children. That's something that we learn over time. You know, that's like expecting a 5-year-old to master and perform and solve calculus. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's probably possible, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just not, it's placing the bar at 7 feet when we know we can only jump 4, you know. And I feel like that needs to be, if this resonates with you, this is an aspect that needs to be released. It's a forgiveness of yourself in a sense, and it's finding your truth, and it's really understanding your emotions and why they're there, and why it's important to be on the quest to completely understand them, and knowing exactly how to apply them, Sagittarius, to upcoming and ongoing situations so that you achieve and obtain a favorable result. I'm feeling. Sorry, that was kind of all over the place, but that's kind of what I'm getting. It was coming in very in spurts. I feel like you maybe possibly haven't, you know, this is still ongoing. So I can only channel what I get regarding what's ongoing. If things haven't completely, you know, taken its course, you know, regarding like a final solution. But don't worry, Sag. This is a journey, and, you know, view it as that, you know. It's not all about the destination, it's about the journey, you know. All right, Sag, we'll see you. Capricorn, the sea goat. Alrighty, so in the center here we have the Queen of Discs, or Queen of Pentacles reversed. On the right hand side we have the Six of Swords reversed, and on the left hand side we have the Six of Wands reversed. All right, Capricorn, I feel like during this time, during this moon cycle, you may be feeling a little smothered, or you may be feeling like you may be smothering other people. I kind of feel like you're feeling a little bit smothered, or feeling like you can't make a decision maybe right now regarding like your foundation, your home life. There's a tug of war, I feel, Capricorn. Almost said Scorpio. You maybe could be dealing with the Scorpio, have Scorpio in your chart, maybe a North Node or something to that effect. But anyway, I just kind of feel, Cap, that you're unsure if you want to stay within this situation and possibly not be understood, or do you want to be understood and leave the situation? And there's also a dynamic here where you want to somewhat prove, or I think that's kind of a strong word, exhibit, I want to say, who you are within the situation. It's like you don't want to walk away from it, or you don't want to leave the situation because you don't feel the need to have to leave because of maybe people within this dynamic, or people within your home, or situations within your home that may, or you may be feeling like they're pushing you out, or the dynamics that are going on within your home or within your environment that make you feel not understood. I'm feeling like you're compromising maybe yourself a little bit in this situation. You feel like you're compromising yourself. This is a little bit of, it's very dualistic energy here, where you feel like if you stay within this situation, you're not being your true self. You are not staying true to who you are, in a sense. You're carrying a lot on your back, I feel, within this circumstance, situation, person, place, or thing, whatever it may be for you during this time. And there's, like I said, there's this tug of war, I think, between your spiritual side and your ego side. But, you know, ego is a good thing at certain times. We need ego. We live in this 3D realm, this 3D, you know, world. So we do need it. You know, ego helps us get our ambitions accomplished. It helps us, you know, not to take no for an answer. It helps us to feed our children at the end of the day. It helps us to compete for that job that we need. You know what I mean? And Capricorn, you're all about that. You're all about establishing that home life and running it a certain way. But I'm feeling like, now that I say running the home life, I feel like dynamics need to be changed. And you may find yourself kind of maybe being the last one to maybe surrender to it, or to adhere to the new divine plan I'm feeling here. And it's a little scary for you. It's frightening you in terms of these changes, because you may feel, Cap, that along with these changes, even though you know deep down that they're great and that they need to happen and we can't, avoid the inevitable in a sense, but you may feel, Cap, that along with these changes, you may find yourself not being able to have as much control. But when I say control, it's more of like delegation. And you may feel as though that, I don't know, I'm picking up that you may feel like you cannot provide for your family, or that if you surrender to this, you feel as though that because you may not have as much of the decision making, or have a decision within the process of things on how they plan out and work out, that you feel like you may lose, like I said, some of your delegation, and things may fall apart or go to the wayside because of this new way of thinking, this innovative change of a dynamic or dynamics within your social circles, within your home, within your relationship, whatever the case may be for you. But yeah, it's nothing like arrogant. I'm not getting that from here. It's more of just fear of not being able to prevent. Okay, I just picked up. You have a little bit of, you're trying to prevent existential crisis. And it's okay, Cap, to have that mind frame, in terms of, you care and you want to make sure that you have everything together and you have everything under control, delegation, once again. But you're just in fear that this is like I said, new innovative way of thinking, and you feel like maybe this is a new experience for you, and therefore it's walking into the unknown. And I think, Cap, you're so used to you taking care of everything that it's a fear that things won't work out the way that they're supposed to. But if God, Spirit, has placed you in this position, go with it, Cap. And I feel like you're going to find a lot of healing through this. You're going to then see that all your hard work has paid off, regarding if it's your children, if it's just the people that you feel you're responsible for, that you are responsible for. You can then see them flourish. And you can then see their true personalities come out. I'm getting chills right now when I say this, but you can see their inner child bloom outward. And it's going to help you come to terms with, okay, it's like this, Cap. If we work so hard to maintain an environment, and we equip everyone within that environment with the proper tools, in terms of taking care of themselves, we eventually, Cap, we have to let go of the rope, the reins. We have to let go of them and then see if these people that are in question here, if they can handle it, We have to, they have to leave the nest, I don't know why I'm picking that up here, but you have to leave the nest, and you have to be confident in these people that you have equipped life with, you know what I mean? And you have to trust in the process and trust that they'll make the correct decisions, Cap. But overall, that's just what I'm kind of getting for you here. Don't have fear, okay? Put it in God's hands, and everything is going to work out, because it's already in God's hands. You just got to just chill out and allow things to transpire the way that they do during this moon cycle. All right, Cap, we'll see ya. Aquarius, the water bearer. All right, so in the center here, we have the Page of Discs, or the Page of Pentacles. On the right-hand side, we have the King of Wands. And on the left-hand side, we have the King of Pentacles reversed. Righty, Aquarius. There's a struggle here during this time between solidifying your foundations and satisfying your desires and your ego. And you may have not, or you may have never found yourself in this position, or this may be something new for you, I feel. So you're approaching it with caution. You know, when I say caution, it's more of just wanting to make sure that everything works out proper. That's what it is. Not caution like you have anything to worry about. It's just you want to make sure that things work out right. But I'm feeling here, even though the King of Wands is upright, I'm feeling here that sometimes, Aquarius, your ambition and your creativity, your drive can maybe outweigh your needs and your wants regarding security, regarding your home, regarding your family, regarding how we place it together. Having a healthy balance, Aquarius, between your ego and your responsibilities, I'm picking up here. You're going to approach this very slowly. It's something that is extremely new for you. It's something that is, I don't know, I just picked up the word innovative. You, Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, absolutely. But I just feel that you have nothing to worry about right now. The fact that you are approaching this in a very stealthful manner. That's interesting. In a very stealthful manner, that it shows that you do care, and it shows that you do want things to work out right. You're being cautious because, like I said, you want it to work out accordingly. You want it to work out effectively. But I'm feeling as though that you may find a lot of anger may build up during this time. A lot of I'm feeling like a lot of maybe uncertainty will come from not knowing what to do in certain situations. This can be regarding maybe a child. This can maybe be regarding children. It can be regarding even your inner child. You know, maybe your inner child's coming out. Maybe your I just picked up, check your chart, Aquarius, and see where your IC is, your Imam Coeli. That's going to be where your MC, right? Your midheaven is at the very top of your chart, in the very center in the northern hemisphere. Check the bottom, right? It's IC. It'll be at the very bottom, directly oppositional to it. What planets are there? What if there's anything conjunct there? I'm feeling here, Aquarius, that aspect. I feel that area is very it's starting to present itself right now for you. And it's nothing to fear. It's just your IC is representative of your upbringing. It's representative of how you viewed your parents regarding their parenting style. And then also, how is that exhibited through your parenting style, or through how you handle your home, or you handle delegative responsibilities. I'm feeling here. If you need help within that area, you know, you can always book with me. We can look at your IC and we can take a look at all that, and we'll go ahead and check it out. But yeah, check that area out. I feel that's very important. I don't know why I'm picking that up, but you just need to, Aquarius, at this time, remember what's important, you know, and let's not allow any past life trauma, any inner child trauma regarding how we were brought up, regarding our roots, regarding how we delegated things. You know, okay, I feel like you're growing, you know. How you used to handle things is not how you handle things now, you know. So you are starting to look at the bigger picture, but I still feel like there are times when that the way you used to do things comes out every now and then. And then I feel like when you take like 4 or 5 steps forward, when we allow that ego to come in regarding how we used to do things, it kind of pushes you back like 7 steps, you know, and it's like, shit, like, you know, you find yourself saying that to yourself, you know. Look at that IC. That's really big right now. I'm really picking that up right here, right now. I know I also look at your 7th house as well. What's in there? I mean, hell, at this point, look at your MC as well. All those areas are going to tell you, I mean, you know, your ascendant, your descendant, your IC, and your MC are all, you know, the 4 points in your chart that make like a diamond, but they're the infrastructure of the chart, you know, regarding why are we here, what are we doing, what are we resting upon, how strong is that infrastructure, you know. But yeah, of course, I just feel like during this time, just remember really what's important, you know, and just know that you're growing and know that things are going to change and things are supposed to change. And, you know, it's a journey, you know, it's going to start off slow. You may have some apprehension. You may, you know, have some moments where, you know exactly what you're doing. And then some other moments where you really don't. Things may be kind of out of your control, or maybe, you know, other people are involved that kind of shape the outcome of your life, or shape the outcome of your character building, or of your children, or something of the sort, you know. Yeah, just allow God and Spirit to come through and help guide you. You know, we have to get out of our way in order for God to come through, and in order for Him to come guide us, you know. All right, Aquarius, stay strong during this time. I really do encourage you to look at those spots, your IC, your your imam coeli, that's the IC. Look at the descendant, the ascendant, and the MC for sure. And if you need some help within that area, I'll be more than happy to help you within that area. Alrighty, all right, Aquarius, you got this. Just keep your eye on the prize, and let's make sure that we delegate this properly, you know. And I have all the faith in you. All right, Aquarius, we'll see you. Pisces, my double fish. Alrighty, so in the center here we have the Sun card, and on the right hand side we have the 5 of Swords, and on the left hand side we have the 3 of Wands. Okay, Pisces, this is not necessarily a bad reading in terms of the cards, but normally in your guys' readings I don't like to say like beware or watch out for this. Like, you know, we don't know the future. You know, I mean, we can always, the best we can do is anticipate it. And I feel like this is a form of anticipation a little bit, but just be mindful. Let's just say that, you know, of your surroundings a little bit. Regarding like, I feel, Pisces, that during this time, light's going to be shed upon certain areas in your life regarding, like, I'm feeling like it's plans that you put into place. Now, they're successful. You know, I'm not saying that they're not, but light's going to be shed upon maybe people who are in your environment that maybe don't necessarily have the best of your intentions at heart. Now, I'm not saying that I feel like, you know, there's like someone like waiting around the corner, like fucking Michael Myers with a damn knife. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that maybe you may find yourself noticing that certain people that are around may try and hide behind the scenes a little bit and kind of like watch things play out, you know. It's like, for instance, Pisces, like, let's say like you and one of your family members or something, you know, or someone close to you, you know, are walking down the street, you know, and let's say that you're walking behind this person, right? A little bit of a fair distance, and you're on your phone, you're looking down, right? And then the person, you know, ahead of you is walking, and then they see a big old hole in the middle of, you know, like a pothole, and a deep one in the middle of the damn sidewalk or the street, wherever you guys are walking. And they move out of the way, and instead of telling you, they kind of just like, I wonder if him or she will fall into it. And you're on your phone, you're walking, and then boom, you fall into it, and then they're like, whoa, what happened? Something like that, Pisces. That's what I'm kind of feeling, you know? And I don't know why I'm picking up here that maybe there may be some jealousy regarding these people or this aspect as to which may not be in your best interest here. Because it's interesting because the sun, you know, is kind of looking, there's also an eagle in the back right there too, is looking at the porcupine, I assume, trying to hide behind the rocks there, you know, the Tower of Rocks, trying to hide behind there, and he's just like looking at the sun. And then the Three of Wands there on the left hand side, you know, you're looking forward in terms of what your plans are and what's going on, and, you know, very stealthful and moving forward. And you see how the sun and the porcupine are looking in the direction as to which you are, but you're not paying attention to them, you know? And I feel like the sun, like I said right there, is going to shed light upon those areas of where people may be a little bit selfish in terms of kind of saying things behind your back, maybe, or maybe just setting communication up so that it has an expected result regarding someone else's kind of selfish, malicious plan, in a sense, you know? I'm just really feeling that, Pisces. And I hate to deliver such of a reading during this time, but this is kind of what I'm picking up. And normally I don't say these things in your guys' readings, but I'm just really getting that. But you know what though, Pisces? Like, shit, like, just do you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, move forward. Regardless of what happens, you've grown so much and you've taken all the right steps. And hey, we all fall down every now and then, right? Shit. But it's going to, like I said, shed some light upon that areas to which, who are these people, places, or things that don't necessarily have your best interest at heart, Pisces. That's really what I'm picking up here. But don't, like I said, don't worry about it. Just keep, like that fox, just keep moving forward, look at the stars, and know where your future lies, you know what I mean? And hey, if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. Whatever, you know? At least you know at least you knew that you stood in your truth and you stand in your truth, and hey, things change, you know? You never lose, you're the winner, you learn, Pisces, you know? And that's the lesson behind all of this, I want to say. And let those let those people, places, or things dig themselves into the rut, you know? And then pretty soon you're going to be the one. It's funny, I just saw it right now. Like, you're going to be the one looking down at your phone while you're walking, right? And that pothole comes up and you're like, doop, and like you walk around it. And then you look up at that person and you're like, yeah, bitch, you didn't think that I saw that, huh? Like that. Sorry to cuss, guys, but that's kind of what I'm feeling, Pisces. But yeah, just be a little bit more observant during this time. And just, you know, look out for you during this time. There's nothing selfish about that, Pisces. Just make sure that, you know, everyone's on the same accord as to which the company that you keep and you depend on, and that you hold dear to your heart, you know? I want to leave you with this, though, Pisces. When people show you their true colors, believe them. All right, Pisces, we'll see you.